The city at night has always held a strange allure for me, a tapestry of glowing lights, bustling streets, and hidden mysteries. But one evening, my fascination with the urban labyrinth took a chilling turn, revealing a side of the city I never imagined existed. It was a brisk autumn night when I found myself wandering the streets alone. The usual cacophony of city sounds, honking cars, distant sirens, and the murmur of pedestrians, provided a comforting backdrop. Yet, beneath it all, an unsettling silence seemed to linger, like a shadow waiting to engulf me. As I turned down a narrow alley, the neon lights from the main street faded, leaving only a dim, flickering bulb overhead. The air grew colder, and a sense of unease crept over me. I quickened my pace, my footsteps echoing against the brick walls. A figure emerged from the darkness, a silhouette against the faint glow of the alley's end. My heart skipped a beat as I hesitated, unsure whether to retreat or continue forward. Before I could decide, the figure spoke, a low, gravelly voice that sent a chill down my spine. "Lost, are we?" The words hung in the air, filled with a strange mixture of curiosity and menace. I managed a nervous nod, my voice caught in my throat. The figure stepped closer, revealing a face obscured by shadows. His eyes gleamed with an intensity that made me shudder. "Let me help you," he said, his voice dripping with false sincerity. Before I could protest, he gestured for me to follow. Against my better judgment, I obeyed, my senses on high alert. We wound through labyrinthine streets, the city's usual vibrancy replaced by an eerie stillness. Finally, we arrived at a decrepit building, an abandoned warehouse, its windows boarded up and graffiti covering the walls. My instincts screamed at me to flee, but something held me in place, a morbid curiosity mingled with dread. Inside, the air was heavy with dust and decay. The flickering light of a single bulb cast dancing shadows on the walls. My guide led me deeper into the darkness, each step echoing like a drumbeat of impending doom. As we reached a derelict room, I saw them, more shadowy figures emerging from the corners, their faces hidden beneath hooded cloaks. The air grew colder still, and a knot of fear tightened in my stomach. "Welcome," said my guide, his voice echoing in the silence. "You're among friends now." I tried to mask my terror with forced politeness, my mind racing for an escape plan. But the figures closed in, their presence suffocating. They whispered in hushed tones, their words indecipherable yet menacing. Suddenly, a loud crash shattered the tense atmosphere. Startled, I turned to see a figure darting through the shadows. Without thinking, I bolted after them, adrenaline surging through my veins. I emerged back onto the street, gasping for breath. The city lights seemed blindingly bright after the darkness of the warehouse. I dared not look back, fearing pursuit. Lost and disoriented, I wandered aimlessly through unfamiliar streets. The city that once felt like home now felt alien, its towering buildings casting ominous shadows. Hours passed before I found myself in a deserted park. Exhausted, I sank onto a bench, my heart still pounding in my chest. What had I stumbled into? Who were those people, and what did they want? Dawn broke on the horizon, casting a soft glow over the cityscape. I made my way back to familiar streets, eager to leave the night's horrors behind. But even in the daylight, the memory haunted me, the shadows lurking beneath the city's surface, the whispered voices, the feeling of being hunted. The city's facade of brightness and noise now held a darker truth, one I couldn't shake. To this day, I avoid those alleys and deserted corners, forever haunted by the shadows of that chilling encounter in the heart of the city at night.